Thank you, Diana. Thank you for the clapping, Loma. Thank you for inviting me. Actually, yes, as I said before, my name is Lotte Kircher. I'm German, but I live in Switzerland. And I've been working in the industry for 10 years now, and especially living in Switzerland. The conversation on, there it is again, conversation on mental health is still very slowly going on, and I've been pushing it a bit further, slowly but gradually, to make sure people just start talking about it. I came to this topic because I got drunk at Clermont-Ferrand. It's a very big networking festival, and that's actually where all the good ideas for industry events starts, because at the German party at 1 a.m. that's where people start opening up after a great set by the festival director of Hamburg, and people start talking, and suddenly all those people I've been looking up to and thought I could never be as great as them started saying, oh, I just had a nervous breakdown 2 hours ago, or I spent the summer in a mental institution because I had a burnout, because I pushed myself too far. And that's where the conversation started, and that's where we tried to pick up over the time, one panel at a time. And today we're going to talk about structures and boundaries and experiences, but on a more structural level. We're not. This is not a therapy session. It's more a best practice approach, what we've been gathering and learning over the last years on different parts of the world. And I think I just introduce her really quickly. This is Liga. She is a lot of things. Everyone is a lot of things. She's mainly a journalist, freelance. This is Sigrid from Upsālas Film Festival in Sweden. This is Matteo from Italy, from the very south of Italy. He is a producer and the festival director of, I wrote it down because I'm nervous. I can't read my handwriting. Did I say Figari?
Figari.
Yeah, see my handwriting. Look at this. This is Thanasis, or Thanos as we like to call him. He is a filmmaker, a very good one, and he works for a drama film festival in Greece. And this is Deivids from Czechia, who is head of a film.
Well, like Cinematic of National Film Archive.
Yes.
In Prague.
That's them. And I decided to let you introduce yourself in more depth by asking you why you agreed to participate in this panel, even if it comes as a bit of a personal exposure. So, Nika, do you want to start?
Why not? Why I agreed? I agreed because I knew that it would be, let's say, opening a can of worms, but it's really necessary. Also because I realized that I was again scheduling an email, meaning that I was working late, but I was thinking about my colleague when it will land in his or her email. I didn't want to do it at 3 o'clock, so I just scheduled it for the next morning. And there's this double-edged sword that I was not saving myself, but I was trying to be empathetic towards the colleague. So there's that.
Yeah, so I suggest to participate in this because it has been a discussion, as Lotte said, at film festival with a few people at film festivals in the past couple of years to talk about what we were actually going through, the workload, and how it affects your personal life and your mental health. I also wanted to. I also agreed to this because I think it's important to not only share but also talk about how we can get out of it, like what we will do, collect maybe some thoughts that we can bring away with us. Yeah, we have the flipboard over there. So I think it's important not just talking but also looking for solutions to get out from this, if it's possible.
I think it's important to start to speak about this problem. In Italy, no one speak about that in the cinematic industry. And I think it's important because I wake up in the night and I start to write emails because my brain is already work on and thinking, and so I think it's very important to speak about that and find solution to separate work and private life.
I think I was so damaged before this job, mentally wise. So I want to share my positive view of being in this job, in filmmaking and in programming.
And I tried maybe all the careers possible, like in the festival, filming, just filming, or just working for the public institution, which is based in audiovisual industry. So I think I have kind of like this experience from all the fields, which is, and I want to save myself here by listening to.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned before that I think just that we all work very inefficiently, and because we don't acknowledge that we all are very different and that we have different issues, and that the communication is still very non-direct. And I feel like that if we just start talking about it and communicating our boundaries, our breaks we need, or that we disagree with something in a safe space, then that's going to really make work more efficient and therefore give us more time to unwind and relax and actually have the energy to work in this field. Because somehow, I mean, I'm sure all of you had a discussion with your parents where they said, why don't you do anything normal? And then
they still don't get it.
Yeah, they don't get it. And I mean, I sometimes don't get it, but then we have those events, we have the meetings, we are very passionate about those things, and then we wouldn't survive, or we wouldn't do well on a 9-to-5 job. But just because we are creative people doesn't mean we are free laborers and we can be used at any time, at any point, so we can create festivals, films, reports, but it's also a monetary issue. Many of us have different jobs because we care about a lot of different things, but also because we have to pay our bills, because the industry does not really pay. But that was negative. So how do you, Liga, since you work, you don't work at any office, you have to structure all your work yourself. How do you do it?
So
how many different types of calendars do you have, and how many?
Actually, I don't keep a diary or a planner. How do they call it? I have quite a vivid memory, so there's that. But it comes in waves. For instance, sometimes it's a more intensive writing period. Sometimes it's more intensive, let's say, festival selection watching period, and sometimes, I don't know, it's subtitling or translating things for festivals or films, but sometimes it all collides, and then it's quite brutal, I'd say. And then I just lock myself in a countryside house, and I try to say to my friends, don't bother me, and go away. So yes, structure-wise, it's like that. When it's the normal periods, I try to do it as let's say, a normal person. Not 9 to 5, but maybe 10 to 7. When it's the hectic periods, it's just waking up, coffee, waking up like normally, de-zombifying myself, and then like straight to computer until I go to sleep. So yes, there's that. So it comes in waves, really, for me. What about you guys? How do you structure your life?
Well, Matteo, you said something I realized.
I have difficult to structure my life because I wake up in the morning at 6 or 7 and wake up my daughter. I prepare her and after we go to the school, and after I go to the gym in the morning.
One of those people.
That's why you look so young.
Yeah, I'm 41.
Lifestyle.
That's why you tolerate Balsams.
And after I go to the office and I work all the day, and at 7 in the afternoon I go back to take my daughter, and I go to my home. I prepare the dinner, and I watch a series, and I go to sleep, and restart the next day. I restart. Every day is like that.
So when do you take the time to have a mental breakdown and cry?
Yeah, in the weekend.
Okay.
In the weekend, because I during the pandemic I stay at home all the day, like everyone, and I work so much in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, and stay on the laptop, and I've understand during the pandemic situation that I have to separate private life and work, and so I rent a beautiful office with a sea view, and I spend a lot of time in the office because it's a good situation, and I decide to break the weekend. So I leave my laptop in the office in the weekend. I don't work in the weekend, and I stay with my family because I think it's important the time that you spend with your friend, with your family, and the quality of life that you can spend because the life is too short. So
do you think you would be
we work because we love this work. We spend a lot of time working because we really love this work. We really love cinema. But we have to understand that we love other things in our life, and we have to spend the right time in other things with people, with stay with your friends or family.
Were you structured before your daughter was born, or because you can't tell her just one more email?
Yeah, when I become father, my life is changed, and I'm most focalized in finding the right way and to find money for my family, because after this situation the life is changing, and so I have to understand that I have something to do, and I become big now. So I'm not a child, but inside sometimes like yesterday night. But okay, it's part of mental health. No?
Yes, and it's also to let go, you know.
Yeah.
Have some shops. Sigrid, her festival does something that's very uncommon in the festival industry. They take off I think we agreed that 2 weeks before something happens is the penultimate weekend. They take off some time before the festival to spend time with their families and...
Yeah, we are 2 weeks before the festival that weekend. We try not to work because we're a very small office. We are 3 people basically working there and some more. But for us year-round employed staff, we try to have this weekend off because I mean, you don't need to do anything for the festival 2 weekends before. I mean, if it's not done by then, it will not be done also. And it can definitely be managed during work hours. I think this is what you discussed, like when you have a child, I don't, but my colleagues have children. And like when you have a child, it becomes very apparent that you cannot work that much, because you cannot leave your partner taking care of your home life only. You have to, you have 2 jobs. You have a family and you have your paid job. But I don't have a child, but I still I have a family. I have a partner. I have friends that are family, and they also sounds very narcissistic, but of course they need me in their life. No, but and I need them. I need to spend time with them. Otherwise, I feel terrible about myself. I walk around. I remember when I worked at another festival when I was younger, and I didn't have any boundaries towards my employer. Like, my mother was so angry with me, so confused by me, how I worked, and every time she said something, I remember very clearly, she started to talk about pension, and I just snapped at her, like, how dare you bring this up with me now, so close to my festival. And she's just being very reasonable about her, wanting me to be employed by an employer that gives me pension. And working too much, it costs so much of your personal life. Luckily, my mother is still in my life, but I think all of us working at festivals have had relationship crashed around the festival times, because we are just assholes. Then we just say stop to our normal life and go into our bubble. I don't like that anymore. But I think we have to find a good balance. Sorry, I talked a lot now.
No, but it makes sense, and it's a very, it's the same with my parents. They would say, why do you work in these conditions? They're using you. And I'm like, you don't understand, we're all friends, and we have to do this festival. And now I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm never going to tell them, but maybe they were right. Yeah, also I was living in a flat when we did an online edition of the festival. And I would come in the morning with my coffee, and I was already because there was no time for me to rest, and everything was at home, and I was already so tense at 8 in the morning. My flatmate would come in and look at me to have his coffee in his room, because he couldn't deal with me. And I would then go to his room and say, please, I'm not going to talk about the festival, just come sit with me. And I have my own apartment now. Yes, that's but I saw you take some of us walked to the festival venue together, but Sigrid said she needs some time for herself and some headphones. I think all of us have noise cancelling headphones. Because when do you take time for yourself? I don't know. Do you want to say something about Thanasis?
About when I take time for myself?
Yeah, because you said, you have you're always to your family, to your friends, to the festival, but where's the me time?
I think my best time is when I work. As a filmmaker, because I'm a filmmaker, and the periods of creating stuff, creating film or a script or whatever, it's the best period of my life. I feel I'm rebirthing, it's like, it's a very important period for me, but it's very rare because of the money and because of all the situation. So when that comes, and the last 3 years that I'm programming also in drama film festival, I really can't wait to work on that, because on the other hand, if I want to be like mental healthy, I have extreme OCD issues, like I'm super organized, but inside I'm a lot of chaotic, I really want to destroy everything in my house, but because of me and my husband, he's also a bit organized freak. So I try to be super focused when I'm not creative, and when I'm creative, I'm really myself. But I feel creative when I also programming. It's because and it's also it's a period of my life that I'm not also creative for myself. I'm creative for other people. I'm not only self-centered, because when I'm a filmmaker, I'm super self-centered, and this is make the things worse as mentally wise. But I think I'm balancing, because I'm doing psychotherapy, which is very important, and also this is for almost 5 years. So this is a time for myself, and my mental issues. My husband is he's a psychiatrist and psychotherapist, but doesn't have to do with my psychotherapy. But we are forcing ourselves to find these moments. You know, it's like if we let it go, we wouldn't find moments for ourselves. So we are forcing ourselves sometimes to find moments, quality-wise, to be with each other and feel, you know, having quality times for ourselves and for as a partners and with the friends, etc. So I think it's a forced thing. The other comes more easily.
Do you miss when you're working on a film? Do you sit on set and think, "Oh, I missed the 9-to-5 job," or when you do the programming, do you miss the freedom, or is it good because you know it's going to happen at some point?
I think it's all also that is organized. Drama has a specific period in my life. It's every September, so the programming starts now until June. So everything is a little, and I try not to create a film during this period. So that's how I have organized that in myself, so not to miss something of them. But if I have to choose, I would choose for sure filmmaking. But programming makes me more grounded, let's say, because filmmaking, it's super self-centered thing, and that's why when I program and when I see other films and I have to I love other films. I love not the film that I created, but films that I from other people. This grounds me and relaxes me a little bit, being a programmer.
Yeah, I think.
And it helped me a lot, of course, during the pandemic. This was very important for me because during the pandemic, the filmmaking was like postponed for I don't know, for forever, and so programming came that period and. It felt a little. It was my life-saving boat.
And you also have a house, like a weekend house, huh?
I have a country house, yeah. That's the only thing my parents gave me, but I am. I'm liking that kind of thing because I'm now have created. I'm having it as an Airbnb. So this is my, let's say, salary from coming from the Airbnb, and I have time to work as a filmmaking and programmer. Filmmaking never gave me money till now.
Only recognition, huh?
Only, recognition. But programming is giving me money. I mean, I'm making money from programming and from my Airbnb.
David, do you also have a country house?
Yeah, I bought one with my mother during the COVID times because I needed to get out from my apartment, and we didn't have, for a long time we didn't have any country houses, and now we have like it's ruin. It's ruin. It's like from the 80s horror movie style, like the country house. But I slept there once, even alone. It's really big, but ruin, and there was no bad vibration. So I got this feeling that I can really like rejuvenate there. And it was really great to have this getaway, but I can't use it as an Airbnb because they would sue me. Because they would get killed there probably or something.
Is it really haunted?
No, probably not. It looks like, but it's probably like when you go there. It's not like in the catalog. Absolutely, darling. Let's go back to Prague. Yeah. So I have a country house, and regarding this, I think now in Czech Republic it's a little bit the mental health is discussed also among the students because of art schools, because now I feel finally in a stage when I'm not like a foot soldier, like a student foot soldier that you are like go on the mission and like take care about those VIPs and you're working like 20 hours per day on the festival as a youngster, like junior, or even on the shooting. So I tried to work at television at the festivals in this age, and it was really somehow it was then my former dean from the university told me that he became the CEO of National Film Archive, which is kind of like situated in the rundown building as well in Czech Republic, and it's like a slow institution, like PR-wise. And I was like, okay, maybe I can slow down and go there. And I was the first of his like students who start to work at the film archive, and then gradually all my exhausted friends started to work for us as well, which was kind of nice. We were like the circle of the anonymous alcoholics, like, oh, you are working here as well, yeah, I needed some kind of like, so we started to work there, and actually it's like still like it's beautiful work, and some things we could change, but we also started to work with a different generation of people, which is very important, because somehow in the industry it's also like it should be like we are all dynamic and we have to be prepared for anything, and you are maybe already too slow, and or maybe we need somebody who is like cheaper, younger and stuff. So it was also from this point of view, it was great that we could share with the more experienced colleagues some stuff, and that we can work there. And I started to shoot or to do filming only in my free time, as Thanasis also said, like just for fun with friends. But we are paying each other, and we get the income, and we use the income for the shooting. Mm-hmm. And everyone is paid the same amount, which is kind of like a socialistic way. Even if you are like cinematographer or director or a makeup artist, you get the same price, which is for me somehow also like important, because if you have a crew where it's like this hierarchic style, that the director is the maestro and he receives the biggest amount of money, it could be problematic, I think, in some even especially in the independent problems, because but in the independent projects very often he is only one who is not paid. So, yeah.
Do you want to comment on that?
Well, yeah, it's very good that you're doing filmmaking as well. Like, I mean, I think that the key word that everybody a little bit said is the balance. Mm-hmm. So everybody has, you're finding the balance through, because your main field is in the university and this archives thing, but filmmaking is also a part that you're balancing with art. And my main thing is art, but also balancing other stuff in my life is really that makes me keeping me mentally health wise. So I think balance is the key word, right?
Mm-hmm. Can I ask, are you in a managing position, right? I don't remember your title now.
I'm
because I wanted to ask, and this is also for all of us, like who manage staff? Like in their workspace, do you manage? Do you have people that you make a time schedule for, give out the tasks to? I don't know about your work. I do that as well, but I wanted to throw it out.
Head of a team, or
yes. And how do you as a manager then make it doable for your team to have a sustainable work style, and not feeling forced to work overtime, to feel forced to do things they don't want to or cannot, like, how do you...
In the institution, in the film archive, for example. We started to, it was during the COVID, it was very difficult, because when the COVID ended, we should come back to the offices, and not for everybody, it wasn't so easy. And we found out that part of our job, even I think definitely if you are freelancing, you can do from home. So we started to do kind of like I think the biggest the communication and responsibility is like the things that people need, that you believe them. If they will do the work. I try to not to be like a control freak. Even in this institution, which is kind of like working hours are not in our cinema because it's different, but for other people in the institution, it's very like they have office and they should be there. But we try to do it like very free, but it has its flip side, because then you can be like a chaotic leader as well. So it's kind of like you have to talk with the people and to find out if it's like okay for them, because somebody needs different things, So
But also you touched upon hierarchy, and like we are also supposed to give tips or something like that, and Festival-wise, I feel that I kind of like the Clermont-Ferrand model when there's no creative director or festival director. They are all equal, and I think they feel much better in this situation. So there is something about hierarchy or maybe diminishing it. And also the other thing you said that resonated was about internships, like young and cheap.
Oh yeah.
I think this also, we have all been young and cheap, we're still. And I think it's also a problematic thing when people either fresh from university or still in universities who want to get into the field, me included when I was a bit younger, I felt disposable and just they were giving me like really shitty jobs, but the ad was saying, oh, it will be the opportunity of the lifetime, you'll get to know all the right people, and basically it was just a promised land, the ad, and at the end they just really, as you said, treat you as cheap and you know, and they like use your enthusiasm, which is still a present thing. So
and it can be very harmful because you really can you can dislike the industry since then, you know. Because I started to work at television, we were in the entertainment department, which was not entertainment at all, and you could see on the people who were working there longer time, but from the beginning of their career actually, some of them were like really like die hard, even in this kind of like environment which was not like artsy, but it was like a kind of like routine work. And then you had those like really like burnout people who just did it for like because of the good money, like especially. But I was like, oh no, I can't work in television anymore, and I never will probably. So and it can be, it doesn't have to be like that, I think.
I thought about one thing also about managing management roles at festivals or at any team, because what you said that you were scheduling the email to arrive in the morning to your colleague or however you were there at 3 at night. I think personally, it's very important to schedule because if I get an email from my colleague at 3 at night, I would if I
you
see
get anxious.
Yes, like do they think I should work now? Like
we have a rule that you can't do it. You can plan it in the Gmail, you know.
Yes, yeah, because it is super important. I think especially from a management level that you show you're not supposed to work at 3 at night. I might as a manager, but they should never feel pressured for this, because if my colleagues would call me. Because I see at festivals also people are calling each other on weekends, on like after 5 o'clock, and I'm like, are you crazy? Like you cannot call me now. Like if my colleague Christopher and Niklas, if they called me at 6 in the evening, I would feel like, holy fuck, something has happened. Like have they been in an accident? Like are they quitting? What is happening? And I think that is a kind of this is how it should feel. Your colleagues are not. I mean, if you're friends with your colleagues, that's another thing. But your colleagues or your boss should not contact you. I think, unless it's an emergency after hours.
You also said this interesting thing that for Sigrid, if you get a message on the phone, it should be something positive. When I see there's a message, and I have all my friends on sickness, so if I see the blue symbol, it's fine. But when it's the green one, my heart rate goes up, and it's like, is it one of my bosses? Is it work stuff? Is it private? And do all of you, do you have a mail program on your phone? Liga, do you have it?
What's the program?
A mail program. Do you get your emails as a push on your phone? Or did you delete it?
I'm really bad with phones.
That's good.
Good for you.
I just filter. I sometimes do get the communication anxiety. So, there's just the filter, let's say.
You don't have it on your phone?
I have it on my phone, but I don't have notifications on it.
Okay.
Because, but I also want to remove it in a way. But then, I don't know. I have it, but notifications I think is very. It steals your attention. This is what we talked about. It steals your attention, and you associate the notification with a message from your friend, but it's urgent. Film copy hasn't arrived or whatever, and it's 3 weeks before the festival, and that's fine. If the film copy hasn't arrived, it will arrive. But no. I don't have notifications.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I have in my phone, but I don't have notification. Yeah.
You?
I have all notifications everywhere. But yeah, I mean, it's important for. I'm lucky that drama is a public festival, so there is money, and so that's why I have a paid coordinator under my umbrella, and she is answering to all the emails, etc. So I feel when I have that, I feel more creative of doing my job more correctly, and to be 100% there. This is very important to have the good system around you. But in the filmmaking that I don't have that, it's chaotic. I mean, my dream is when I become, let's say, rich sometime. It's not like cars or whatever, it's a manager or a secretary.
Personal assistant. Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, I mean, boundaries is a key word here as well. Yeah, this is very important. And but you cannot control the boundaries all the time because, for example, as a filmmaker now, I'm waiting an answer from a festival because I have my new short film boiling around. And the last couple of months is like so much anxiety about that because I don't know whether the email will come up. So this for me is a freaking situation, which that's why, when I see now, especially nowadays that I know that there are Russians around people. Yeah, every notification is like it's going. My mental health issues are going crazy.
Yeah.
But that's why I need to express them, and I mean this is quite a solution for me to express these feelings around, because I mean some years before maybe it was like some quiet thing. Don't say that you are shortlisted or whatever, because if you are not selected, then what we're gonna do, and we're gonna have to create a new marketing stuff to. In order not to be heard in the industry that you're not selected there and the film that's not the best from them. I don't know. So that's why I try to express all these feelings. This is I think this is one of the solutions that I found that I have to communicate the issues that I have and the anxiety that are creating inside me in order to, and I find to express them for sure, and I find so many similarities with other people, which also makes me relieved, and it's very important for me.
That's actually. Do you want to take a break? Because that's actually something I wanted to go more into in the next part. Do you want a coffee break? Do you need a coffee break? Yeah, let's take a coffee break. We see each other at 12:17 because I like odd numbers, so let's get a coffee.
You have a notification?
Okay.
Me too, I thought that I
What did we just say? Yeah, I mean that's actually also a topic in our industry because we go to festivals. We don't have the time to get the proper nourishment. And we, in the evenings, because we're so excited to see each other, we drink a bit too much very often, especially the a bit older generation. And it's the generation that's one... Oh, am I being discriminatory?
No, it was our mistake with Matteo. We wanted to have a nice time.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
We have the same generation.
I see my mistake and I apologize for that, and I'm sorry I offended. It's very intense industry work and I mean we just asked Loma to take a selfie because we have to promote ourselves and because we care about it so much, and when we go to a festival, I mean I woke up this morning and said I shouldn't be talking about mental health this morning because I did every single thing wrong. Because I was at the festival in Switzerland 48 hours ago, and I had already booked the Easter holiday with my parents in Germany when I got the call from Lama. And I said, yes, of course, I will manage myself this time and I'll be fine. And I would just have a layover in Zurich for 5 hours, then go straight to Riga, host a panel, answer my emails. I haven't checked my email account in 24 hours, and then fly to my parents and be fresh as a daisy, and I won't drink. And I think the breakfast at the hotel was very nice though. They had like yogurt and fruits and stuff, so. But we always go through the extremes, and when you work for a festival or for any industry that promotes, or as a journalist, you don't have the time to recover. You go for the full extreme on the weekend, and then it's Monday and you have to go back to officially 9-to-5 person. It's very intense, and it also is very hard to communicate your boundaries because your boss does it as well, and so often they say, well, I'm doing it this way, this is how the industry is, and take it or leave it. And I think there should be a middle way where you can say, if I work the weekend, I want the Monday off. But how would you communicate this if the boss is also your friend who writes to you at 6 in the afternoon because they're actually friends and you want to hang out? I think
there
that's
is this pressure of entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you're also now coming from one festival, then going to Zurich, and you need to be fresh as a daisy. I just had also a rather hectic festival run. This is my 4th in, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, which means 4 or 5 countries. And there's always, yes, it's interesting, and meeting people you know and meeting people you don't know, watching films, going to conferences, yet there is this pressure of entertainment, as you pointed out, and you want to be part of it because you don't want to miss out as well of meeting new people, not necessarily to network. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, I like talking to people, but I don't necessarily want to know how useful they might be for me. So there's this, yes, pressure, but yet again there's fear of missing out.
I tried to pressure you because we were at the same festival before.
Yeah, but then I
just
kept my...
because I'm not your boss. No, but this is also an age thing, I think. I don't agree with you that it's the older generation partying the hardest. It's not they do that as well, but I think we are just as bad in partying. But I mean, the older I get, the more years I have in the industry, the more secure I feel about myself. I think that is for all of us. I mean, I don't go out dancing. I don't feel pressured for that. I
have great pictures of you at the karaoke bar, though.
Where?
On my phone.
Which
it was
karaoke
like Winter
bar?
Tour 2017 or something.
I didn't sing then.
But you danced.
Oh.
No, but we can. No, sorry.
I think you confused me with my partner because he was there late. No, but I mean, it's just once again the word is boundaries, and also knowing yourself. Will I not then go up to the seminar at 10 in the morning if I'm out dancing? Probably not. Or like if I'm up drinking until 4 or 5 in the evening? Probably not. But a lot of people can do that. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, go ahead. But when you start to know yourself, you also like, no, I don't want to take this to another step. However, if you have maybe a problem with, because you can have an addiction problem to, let's say, alcohol, that's a very common thing, then you are very much exposed to dangerous environments at festivals. Like, we're not so sensitive to people that don't drink. And it's very like we work a lot with that. I think it's very important when you host a festival or whatever that there is always alcohol-free options. We also get public money, so we if they see us only having alcohol, we would lose our funding because so that is also a reason. No, but like to be sensitive about this, I think it's super important.
I think there's this. I think you can't take it too much seriously, but most of the time, especially like in the working conditions, like or in profession, like the less I try, the better output I get.
Yeah.
I don't know how is it working, but really because you never try so less or like so bad, like so you are not so like lazy to do the needed. But if you are trying too much, it never works. For me.
Yeah.
For me. So that's only like the new age thing for my output. Yeah.
But do you also in the festival you work as a 9 to 5 thing? This is your deal. You're working 9 to 5 all week except from weekends, right?
In Uppsala we do, but we come in later. I mean, we also know that during the festival period we will overwork. So, I mean, this is about communication. We are very vocal. Like, if you need a day off in the week, we will not take note of that and send it to the. Like, we have free working hours in that sense. Because we trust each other. It's a small office also, so it's easier to trust each other. But 9 to 5, which is I think very reasonable for this type of job.
Yeah, because in drama there's no that such a policy. The policy is like you can work anytime you want. We don't go to the office. I mean, everybody is from. Because we created the team during the pandemic, so everybody is used to tele work. How's it called? And I mean, there are both some advantages and disadvantages. For example, as you said, you cannot have a phone call after 6.
But I don't think.
No, I mean that's something that is they can the boundaries of yours can be damaged, let's say. But at the other point, when I don't have this 9 to 5 policy, I'm more. It's more easily to blend when I work and when I don't work, and then I might be overflooded by work at the end because I cannot say sometimes no. You know, it's very important to say no. But when there's a Monday that I don't have much work for the festival and say a lot of yes, and then at the end of the week I'm like, I cannot do it, and I work until the midnight or maybe more, right? So it's some advantages and disadvantages of the system about all these things. Because I work during the weekend, if I don't go out with my friends, etc. It's another day for me. It's nothing important, but it is important because all our lives are based in this weekly system, you know. Because if you lose the weekend and you don't go out with your friends or get relaxed, etc., then if you come to another week and you are again overflooded, then it's like 2 weeks that you are working and you couldn't realize why I'm working so much. But if you have these boundaries like 9 to 5, maybe, I mean, sometimes I would like to have these boundaries, like you work 9 to 5 and then you don't work.
I mean, it is a blend. We are all trying to blend it because I think we're paid for 9 to 5. Maybe we should say.
Well, we're paid for 9 to 3.
In some festivals or some place you work less or get paid less, but we get paid from 9 to 5. Of course, that it's still an open, like you have to do your job, and that could be, I'm picking up my kids at 1 this day. Then of course you need to work maybe a bit more if you have to do it. But I don't know. I think it's always in the end best to have these type of boundaries for yourself and to
Several times, I think the problem is in the festival, but also in the when you make a production, or that you have one person that make the work of 3 persons. And if you have to do the work of 3 persons, you have to spend a lot of time. I think this is the problem. And if you have a lot of money, a public fund, if you have a lot of money, you can take a lot of people for work. But if you don't have money, you have to find a solution. So I make my work and I make the other work that anyone can do that, because I don't have people that can work. I don't have money to bring people. So we have a small staff. Maybe we are 20 and we make work for of 40 people. Yeah.
And you also have to tell them that it's all under control, right? Because you're the head of the festival.
Yeah.
So
This is a problem because when you can take person for a work, you do that.
Yes.
But can you? What is the solution then? Overwork, always, or should we maybe minimize our festival, bring down? Why are we producing a festival that is not sustainable in that sense? If we are we have a pressure of producing this industry activities, talent activities that are great.
And there's
film program.
Yeah, and it's also competition and focuses.
Yes, it's so much like, why are we doing that if we are just 3 people running a festival? Like it doesn't make sense, and that's if we're gonna think of solutions, is the solutions to make our festivals smaller?
Yeah. Sometimes you try to grow up your festival to take more money and make maybe you make a new activities for take a sponsor.
Yeah.
It's a balance, no?
Yeah.
You have to find the balance between the money that you have and the things that you can do.
Yeah, it's often like more money, more problems. More money, more problems.
more space to roam for new ideas.
But it's the same in production when you have to do a short movie or a feature film. You have to find money. If you don't have money, you have to do the same good film. You have to find a solution.
Yeah.
We just had a study in Switzerland that they calculated how much people get paid for the films they make. And the award-winning films in Switzerland, the team actually makes even less money than the regular films because they just spend so much more free time in editing and post-production and filming extras. So it actually doesn't always pay off to make good stuff. Sometimes.
So was it short or feature film?
Feature.
Okay.
I mean, short film, we're not even talking about profit. Yeah. Are you kidding? Oh, that's a good point. Is there any other question or input? I mean, we're going, oh yeah. Hi.
No, just because like it was discussed now. I mean, it's what Matteo said is that. I mean, I think like I mean, it's a question both in film and I mean, it's actually a question in everything, in any job that is results oriented and not something that is completely continuous. Because in the end, like Tanasis said, I mean, like Tanasis said it in both ways. He's both he needs to take responsibility, but also waiting to get answers for his film. There is like deadlines and you know the submissions amount is not determined by the how much submissions you want to get. So my question is, in the end, how do you manage with the fact that there is a result-oriented time? Like you do just the best you can, but in the end also you just have to finish what you started. So how do you find yourself being able to put boundaries, your own boundaries, in a situation when there is exterior boundaries that are forced on you?
I have an example. Like last year in the student competition that I'm a programmer, we had 2,000 film submission, which is huge for drama. And another 2,000 was international, but only in my section, which was a 2 years old section, we had 2,000 submissions. So we were not ready to have so many submissions. I didn't have the pre-selectors to watch them, so we overwatched like 500 films per person. Which, it was not possible, let's say, but we overworked. That's why this year, for example, we talked about it, as I talked to you yesterday, and we put it a fee because it was free for students, and we put it a small fee, like €5 in the film free way, and now the submissions are half already. I don't know the results, so I mean, quality-wise, I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I had a bigger pool to watch films and to decide what I felt the best to present to the audience. So I will have to wait, but that's my balance. I mean, we try to see again what is best for our mental health, and yeah, we are put it a fit, and it worked as a matter of workflow.
I just thought of a question to you, Thanasis. Now you said that you are waiting for an answer. How do you deal with these rejection emails, which sometimes festivals just say, sorry, your film wasn't selected, try next time? How do you deal with that?
Psychotherapy. I think this is the only solution.
Do you write like response letters and then don't send it?
I used to. Yeah. I mean, I'm expressing again. No, I'm not writing and not. Haven't sent any response. I don't remember. But yeah, I understand now that I'm more mature and I have. But I can say in the position that I have films that went to festivals, okay, and when I was like in my first beginning, it was devastating. I mean, I was really sad. Now I know it's part of the game, you know. I know that because as a programmer as well, I have rejected good films that I really loved, but yeah, it was unable to put it in my slots because I had another film with that theme, another film from that country, whatever. So I understand now as a programmer, I understand also the feelings in the as a filmmaker, which is important. But I think expressing again and talking about this stuff, like it's not. I don't think the rejection is the correct word. Let's say it's something that
they went another way.
It's not a personal rejection.
Yeah.
Okay, the film didn't go in. I mean, it's not going to premiere in Cannes or whatever. This is what I try to focus. You know, not like I was rejected or I'm not being loved as an artist, whatever. So that's what I'm trying to do when I get a rejection letter, which is wrong. I think title.
Sorry, that's actually something I wanted to circle back to just before the break. You said that you're much more free to express yourself now, and it's how did you people find the balance? Because in the beginning, I always tried to be very detached from work and not to react too emotionally, and actually really hurt myself doing it because then I would get outbursts at the most random times. But at the same time, I feel if I share too much, then it becomes a personal connection, and you also, really depending on your workplace, you become, people tend to see your reaction, not the structural problem. So when I, for example, would say, I would like, oh no, I've worked this much, I really demand a higher salary now, I really need it, and then I say, yeah, it's because you react too emotionally, or you're too unfocused, or, you know, that's why I always have trouble to find the right balance. But what I did, my super life hack, is I quit. And then with the next job, I already learned some new step. I told my new boss that I'm working Monday to Thursday, and that I want a regular meeting each Thursday. Actually, I wanted Tuesday, but she couldn't do Thursday, Tuesday. But already the step, which might seem normal for people, was such a difference for me, because I knew on Thursday evening I have to be done, and I can leave the laptop at the office. And I know that I get all the information I need at this meeting on Tuesdays, and I don't have to guess what they want. And sometimes I'm German, I can say I'm a very direct person. It doesn't always work in Switzerland. But that was something I really learned, and then that job ended and I got a new one. And now I demand, or I'm just telling my boss, I do wire the money, all the bills on Wednesdays. I need them by Tuesdays. And all those little things which would have seemed impossible for me in the first job are now very easy to do. But what are those things I mean, we all have changed jobs so often. What's something you have adjusted every time?
I think you get emotional always because something is not right. And I think it's really toxic when you are thinking that you cross, like you have some censorship and it's okay, but it's bad when you are saying like to yourself, I shouldn't have said that, because I from my perspective, like in 90% of all the cases, it has to be said. Maybe it could be said in a better way, but if you have always the chance to do something afterwards, which can help even the second person to understand it more. But I think it's wrong when you are thinking in front a bit before the action. It's good to say, after the action, saying like, oh, maybe I just fucked this up, but you can still repair it.
So you gut, really go with your gut, and did it always go well?
No, you have to be prepared that it's like 50-50, I think. But you have to be empathetic and wait for the response, of the people. But I like it as a boss or as a colleague, when there are people like absolutely sincere with me, always. Okay. Even when shooting.
So I think that's a very good point, and I just want to ask everyone else: how do you deal with uncomfortable talks in our industry? How do you do?
I mean, it's important, I think, because you said that it was impossible at your previous work, where they had
years ago.
No, because of course there come up situations at every job that are uncomfortable, and I do think it is important not to we are all emotional people, or most of us, but not to react, because that is also there are always two sides of a coin. Like if you have a conflict with a colleague, who do you go to? It is your superior maybe that you have a conflict with. Then look at the structure of the organization. Who is his boss or her boss, their boss? How do I share this information with someone that isn't him or her? And this is something I've learned, that I don't need to take a conflict. If I want to change something, I go maybe to our board. I think this is I need to learn the organizational structure and then walk around that uncomfortable conflict. And then they, as employers, need to solve this conflict, for example.
Okay.
It's not up to me or the person I'm in conflict with to solve it. It is the employer.
But maybe it can be even sometimes more toxic that when you face the people, because the people are like, oh, she could tell me, face to face, and she went.
And then I say, so no, I actually couldn't, because I don't like how we are communicating with each other regarding this. So it was necessary for me. If it's a small thing, of course, then maybe you can talk. But if you don't feel safe at your workplace or feel uncomfortable talking to something, then you need to go around and not feel ashamed about that. Also, I mean, I think this is a thing. Some people might feel that they have been stabbed in the back or whatever, but. I mean, no, but I mean, it's uncomfortable for everyone. But I mean, this is how it should be at workplace. We don't have HR in our workplace. So what do? We maybe have to then go to our employer. That is often a board or something like this.
I really feel it's something I'm trying to advocate, but again, funding. I really think it would be extremely useful with cultural institutions, especially us who are based so much on emotional and efforts, should have coaching regularly. I took with my family, because we're a lot of kids and we have a very different style of speaking to each other. We took a communication class in the summer, and even though we're from the same family and we have almost the same backgrounds, there were such big misunderstandings when you thought you were clear, and I thought I was practicing, proactive and non-harmful communication, and my sister got it completely wrong, and because she's wrong, obviously I was right. But I think stuff like this really helps because you have to learn how to communicate correctly, and I think this would really help long term, because there would be more efficient workflows, there would be less emotional stress. But I mean, you work a lot freelance, Liga. How do you work with?
Well, if I'm dealing with editors, for instance, in Talking Shorts, my editor Niels, he is really a great editor, also humanity-wise, I'd say.
Our Niels.
Yes, Niels Putman. He gives me an assignment rather early on. So technically, the research, the writing, the editing of this particular piece maybe would take just 3 days. But him telling me that, let's say, 2-3 weeks in advance actually keeps me more calm, and also he gives and several other editors here in Latvia as well. They give good feedback. Actually, in Latvia, not so much. I take that back. Scratch it. So feedback is actually really important, and like sometimes I might it would be nicer if I dare to ask for more feedback, even if it's critical. It helps you. Whereas in festivals, when I have, I don't know, watched the pre-selection, done a, catalog text or done a Q&A, sometimes they are in such a big, how do you say, the rat hole or the hamster hole?
Yeah, hamster wheel.
Yeah, hamster wheel, not hole. Like that they miss out on giving a feedback, because let's face it, we all need a little tap on the shoulder or critical input as well. So about communicating my, let's say, demands, I'm just now learning it, because I think it has to do also with the mentality that Latvians are, like, I would say, like endure and suffer kind of people. So there's that, and also I'm learning it only now to demand, let's say, like a push. I'm trying to push the deadline maybe a little bit, or trying to have a clearer answer or clearer material. For instance, if I need to, I don't know, translate something, like give that to me in advance, not last minute. So now I'm trying to do it, and it still doesn't come easy. There's that. And I heard recently a story of a guy who was employed to do a PR for another festival, and this particular person wrote a lot of demands in the email. I want this salary, I want this term, I want this deadline. Basically a lot of demands, which I think is a nice touch, and the person telling me about this also thought that it's a nice touch that you actually start to acknowledge your worth. But this person in question, the said person, did the job really poorly. So there's also that. But the act of bravely asking to be considered as a professional, not just someone disposable, that's a nice one, though you need to live up to this. So
it's funny, if I can, we all kept using the word demand, and that's actually funny, because we're not demanding, we're just stating, or this is what I need, and this is like what I can give. It's funny because we don't owe anything to a higher power. It's a festival, and yet we always feel like we're demanding something, like pushing something that's a bit beyond what we're worth. That's so stupid. But not judging you, but just thinking about, yes, what do you demand?
I demand some attention, I guess.
Yes, you shall have the attention.
Cool.
Oh, you're talking about time, or do you have a question?
No. I'm not technical. This time I'm participant. So maybe for the next 40 seconds. But basically, I really like the point because as I sort of am slowly picking up some more managerial tasks, and like I'm getting to give people, tell people what to do, and have to organize not just things but people. You learn that it's much more okay to ask things than you think.
Yeah.
It's sort of like in family communication or something. If someone pisses you off to no end, it's usually okay that you tell them that, and they are not going to be as offended as you think they are. Which is an interesting thing, because it's seriously, you can't see that. My managers at an enterprise company I work in, they're also super understanding, and if I ask them something, or if I stated something like that, or if I tell that I can't do something, they're fine. They just find a different way to solve the same problem, and it's I'm going to kill them, or that they're going to kill me. So I
Hopefully, yes.
really value what you said.
Yeah,
No, I just wanted to add a few things you were discussing because it was a lot of things were very interesting, and I was working for the festival myself for 7 years, so I wanted to share some comments and comments back from you. The first one, like from the last things you said, Sigrid was saying, most of the things which Sigrid was saying I wanted to react on. But, like regarding the communication with the management, I think it depends really what's the problem, but I really believe that it's somehow crucial to go to the particular person and try to manage the problem with a particular person. I know that sometimes it's not possible, but at least what I think that it's like good is to try it, and that if you see that it's really nothing happening, so then go for the board or somebody who is.
I of course agree. This is more in an extreme position where you cannot maybe communicate anymore.
Yeah, and that's always. But like what we had in One World, I don't know how it's on other festivals, that we had each year like 2 or 3 sessions with the director. People who are working there for the whole year, and having like in deep talk about how we feel in work, what are we doing, if we are satisfied. He was kind of good in this, that he also wanted to hear the feedback on himself. He got some tough feedback quite often, but he was able to take it somehow. Nothing improved much, but whatever. But it was at least nice, opportunity, which I believe that is good. Then also one thing which we did at particular time was doing a codex of work. I don't know if any of you did it on your festival. It was also kind of a funny thing, because it was kind of disturbing, because it was a shared activity which was facilitated by the director, and it should not be facilitated by him, but somebody else, but doesn't matter. But what was interesting that, for example, here we agreed on several things which were crucial for all the team. Like one thing that no work communication after 7 p.m. We set it at 7 p.m., but it can be like different. There was also like the issue which you mentioned regarding that somebody is sending email in the night. So what to do with it? Because we had these cases that somebody is being pushed, that he or she should work during that time. So that then we've been speaking like openly about it. Okay, I kind of feel that I need to send this email because I will forget what I need to tell you. So I'm sending it in midnight, but please don't take it that this is for you, that you need to do it right at the time. It's my thing. You can read it in your working time, and it's totally okay. So I believe that, I think that this is the crucial, to say how the people are communicating and know it. So I know that my colleague likes sending emails in the night. So okay, it's her thing. I will answer in my time when I want, and I believe it's okay. So but I just wanted to advise that like making such a codex and like a shared communication of what's good for you, it's always good. Regarding the 9 to 5, it was also a big discussion, especially during COVID time, when it was like we were at home office and it kind of did not work. So we totally kind of get out of the 9 to 5 time work, and we wrote to the calendar when we are available and when not. So which was very important, and I think that it helped us a lot to keep some sanity.
That's good. No, but having a codex is really good. I think every work should have this. I think also this, what you mentioned, that you have or used to have these feedback sessions is also super important. I mean, I think I don't know about you, but when you work at festivals or if you're at the archive, but to have like we every year have feedback meetings after the festival, not right after, but like when we can collect thoughts and like share what we thought went very good, but also wrong, like badly. But I think that's right after the festival, it's always. But we also have, I don't know with you, like how it was at your festival, we have the board, which is the employer then. So is the festival director the employer, or is it the board?
Now we also have kind of a board, but the festival is part of a huge organization, NGO organization, so they deal with other things we've never seen them. So it's like there is a board, but it's for nothing. So it's like
no, but it's good to have these evaluations and also evaluation meetings to see how do I see my employment here, what is my aim for my employment, what do I demand from my employer, am I happy with my salary, do I get friskvårdsbidrag, which is Swedish, like money for a gym card. Like this, we get 300 euros every year. It's not a lot, but it's fairly fine. I mean, I cannot buy a year gym pass for that in Sweden, but it's still something. And like to also, we can take time during the day. We often have on Tuesdays. I come in at 11 because then we go to the gym in the morning, not together, but you're not weird. No. But then like also set off time for physical activities because that is also important.
Also, what was like very good in this feedback things, not only like the speaking things, but we had, because then at some time we got the HR for the whole organization, which was great. And they organized some 360 feedback, which was like form thing, like that, like the management was like 10 people was evaluating one manager, you know, in several questions, and then there was some result from it, and we needed to discuss it with the HR people and things like. So it's always good, I think.
How big was your festival? Because it sounds like a much bigger structure, right?
Yeah. But as our festival is part of the NGO called People in Need, it's something like Industry International.
Yeah.
So then it was facilitated by them. It's clear that for most of the festival, it's not like much possible because they don't have resources for that. But at least to try to do something in this way, I believe it's useful.
Very.
But it's difficult. Then I wanted to comment also on the fees regarding the films which were mentioned, which I really believe that it's a good way how to reduce the numbers of the films which you are about to see during the selection, and you will not lose like your gems. I'm pretty sure about this because we did some like research on this and we found out that most of the films which we show at the festival are somehow scouted and they don't go from the regular submissions. It's like it was like 2 or 3% of these films.
No.
And then we reduced the number of the films which we had in a pre-selection for half, as you mentioned. So I believe that it's a really good step to set at least a minimum fee. We also did it like in a way that we excluded some countries of production from paying the fee, because we know that filmmakers from Afghanistan, if there are any, they should not really pay for us, because we are human rights on festivals also. It was for us a very important issue, and it worked very nice. And then the number of work really was reduced. And it's also connected with the question if there should be less work. If we want to have like, we want to work less hours, or if we should do such many things on the festival.
Yeah,
but that's a problem because you need to be. You are always in a. You fight for more money, for example.
Yeah.
For the state institutions who are donating it. And we got at the festival to a really tricky situation because our director said, okay, everybody needs to work less, I understand it, so we will do less things. Okay, brilliant. And then he said, okay, but we need more money, so we will ask for more money from Czech Film Fund, you know. And we were like, okay, but how do we get more money when we are like reducing the program? It doesn't make sense. They will not give us more money
Well, you can
because of this.
specify, yeah.
So it's a very tricky situation how to do it.
It is.
Don't know the answer for this, but
No, but you should look into, like, I think it's very important that we are at festivals, that we are going, like, collecting maybe work hours. Honestly, it's a shit boring thing to do, but to collect work hours over here and show to our funders,
Oh, you
because
don't?
it's very, no, we don't need to.
Oh, we have to track every.
Oh, really?
Mm.
No, but I mean, in Switzerland, you get quite a lot of money, so I also.
Well,
Your
not compared,
festival.
not to compare to you
Yeah.
know.
but in
Swiss.
Czech Republic you have to also like collect the
It's like
No,
hours.
but, but to show how much overwork you do,
Yeah.
you show real hours?
No.
Yeah, but this is what I mean.
Oh, I
you
did.
need to show real hours.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we are overworked. Pay us. Why is this not considered work?
I even have
Pay
to
us
write down what I did.
I think it's for me like it was some years when I started to work at the archive. My boss at the time, because there was like now he's gone and I'm almost the boss, but he was standing in the way. But he wanted me to do the like really like evidence of everything, and I was like, oh shit, man, and he really helped me because of myself. I think he didn't read it anymore, like maybe not just for the first time or something, but it was really so important for me to see the real amount of hours, and then maybe after to know that last week was really hellish and I really had this like over hours, so maybe this week I can settle down a bit, and I think it's good for like hygiene of yourself, not so much for your boss or something.
No, but it can put pressure on, like, if
And it
you're
can, yeah.
because this is what I mean. If you're unhappy with like how much money your festival have, then you can like there are festivals that like Vienna Shorts did it. I bring that up as a good example because they collected so much data of how they have been working and actually demanded that this is what we should be paid,
Yeah.
and they received it.
At least
It was not that simple, but I mean, and probably they should get more. But still, it was a big step for them.
Yeah.
The festival get way more, so they could actually, and they get more money to pay people, not to do additional projects. Because this is, I think, what we get more money, and then we have to throw them out anyway. But to get more money for salaries, because we cannot work on this minimum wage.
Yeah, and
or
it can be done.
You can, but you shouldn't.
No, it can be done. I have to. We're actually at lunchtime. You know, talking about boundaries and breaks. I actually originally I wanted to go to a flip chart and write down helpful things so we can summarize it.
We got 15 more minutes.
Is that fine?
It's okay.
Or do you actually not feel it necessary? I always like to condense information, but if you're not, we can also.
If you want to collect some.
Can I comment in the previous about the feedback, etc.?
Yes, you may.
Because I mean, it's to having an ideal, work is amazing. I mean, but giving feedbacks or having good colleagues, etc. But usually, as an individual, and I'm not a boss, usually you have to carry your own rules, so you don't have to, because people will not change, or you cannot change people. So for me it's important, mentally wise, which is explaining my damaged past, as I said in the first place. It's like I need to express my feelings and my needs, and this is the important stuff. Even whatever the rules are there in my work, this is what I need to do to express what I really feel in the kind and polite way, not bullet points maybe, and demanding stuff. But I feel that if everybody start expressing their feelings and their needs sincerely, then all the system will change eventually. And that's what I carry, from my past, hiding as a gay person in a conservative family, my feelings, hiding. So that's what I've learned from this past, and this comes to work, but this comes to, if we go general, to all relationships, but also because in work, it's a relationship stuff. We are talking with people and bosses and colleagues, So I think if we start collaborating and expressing stuff, everything's going. Even not expecting the results that you want. I mean, that's what you don't expect the results, and the important is to express them, not to have the results afterwards. You know.
But then it's also important to have a place of work that is a safe space, because how do you create a safe space where it is allowed to share? Like in the ideal world, well, we can share our feelings and our needs in the workplace. But if there is not a safe space there, I mean, I like my workplace a lot. I consider it a safe place. But I have worked where people got shouted at by our boss, and that is not like how do you? It's important then to create that safe space.
Yeah.
But how?
I mean, for me,
not shouting, but
no. For me, this is. I also enjoy working in drama. If you what? This is not the case. I mean, it's like. If you express your feelings, you can potentially create a safe place. But if not, it's okay. You should find something else. I mean, it's more important to say it out loud rather than to keep it silent, because it's like, you know, it's cancer for it. It's very toxic, as you said, to take it inside, and it doesn't. Well, life is short. We don't have to work in toxic environments.
It's important in the audiovisual industry, like to know how to leave things and projects, and it's not easy.
No, it's definitely not. There's not a lot of work.
Yeah, as you are freelancing, especially. Yeah.
Do you want?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Like, because I feel like it's a good opportunity, because there are people here from different festivals. I think like a lot of you talked about scale, like some of the issues are issues that caused by small staff, or like you can't do HR for 3 people. But is there any conversation about? Because yesterday we talked about unionizing, about like some festivals working together and creating like, hey, we can be bigger if we're like 5 different festivals, and we don't even necessarily need to affect each other's programs, but we can just be like we unionize basically.
Yeah. But again, it's normal. Like I know in Austria they have the film festivals in Austria have a no, it's Austrian film festivals, like Network for Austrian Film Festivals. It's a lobby group.
Yes.
So and we have it in Sweden as well. We have a lobby group for film festival where we can not maybe unionize but organize ourselves like together, and we are stronger together, and we can like bring up these points. So it's very important.
No, but even just like literally have an HR, like having like demanding from all festivals to be like, hey, we need a board or umbrella. We need to work for the same company. Like meaning like I don't know what it means on a practical level, but I know that, for instance, I mean, when you come to film sets, like we said, the only way was that all editors, like film editors in New York, the only way to that we were able to change anything there was that we're gonna negotiate together, and it's different films, and we don't even with each other work. But then you can have a psychologist that works directly with you all the time, because you're just enough people.
It's fun. Sorry, I just wanted to ask Andre, because if you are in the association of the Czech screenwriters, because we have some employees or like artistic associations. Are you there?
I'm not there.
Because that's funny, because we have some of the associations in Czech Republic, but all my friends in our like age, they don't go there because they feel it's like a very like dogmatic, old school, and they are very often right place. Because so we have these associations, but they are not working in a way. So that's also strange.
But regarding
But
the
why not
festivals,
change
there
it?
is a new association in Czech Republic for the festivals, which is not working either. But they start at least to run it somehow and then to lobby, as you say.
Yeah.
But
But I think it's a good idea, like to have something, and I think in some countries it has been suggested that you have a big central organization where you also share employees. It's a big thing, so you have more of a work bank, so the employees can have a steady all year contract, for example. I have not seen it work, but like there have been talks about it, definitely.
And
I think it's in Denmark.
In Denmark, maybe.
Yeah, Danish film festivals, and then all the festivals are under this organization.
That might be. Yeah.
And I know that in Germany, I guess that they started with some like unions for the film festivals a few years back because the situation was there quite bad either. I remember that
Do you have examples of festivals? Do you have examples of festivals?
I know that Dog Leipzig was involved a lot.
Yeah,
because they had kind of a big issues there that the program director who was working for, I don't know, 12 years for the festival, so she didn't have a contract like an employer, and then it was like legally okay. So then they started to do some steps, which I was quite surprised that in Germany it works like that. And maybe Sigrid, you can share how it works in Sweden as well.
No, but I remember this. I saw a panel with her from Dr. Leipzig in Berlinale a couple of years ago when they talked about this, and they talked about sorry for bringing up Austria once again.
Well,
but
they are doing a great job.
They are doing a great job because they have this festival organization and they have been invited to present this on the German film festival landscape. So they took in like they learned from the Austrians. I don't know, but I mean in Sweden it doesn't work the people that are part of this association are the festivals that receive grant from the Film Institute. So it is mostly working as a lobby group towards the Film Institute. But then a bunch of other smaller festivals are a bit left out. But I mean, they could still it's not about working against them. It's more that we needed a definition, and that was the definition.
I want to wrap up this topic because I want everyone to give a chance to do a closing statement. But actually, in Germany, I worked for several festivals as well. I mean, Berlinale is publicly paid, so they have very strict payment scales. I worked at other festivals where my colleague sued them afterwards because we didn't record our working hours, so she sued them and now we have working hours. Sometimes that's even more effective. Yes, of course you could unionize, but really I'm sick of having to fight all those fights. I decided I'm going to leave the industry and work for myself and work on it by coaching and consulting. And when I like the industry, I'm going back because I don't see why it's always us who have, like, obviously someone has to do it, but I'm sick of trying to fix the whole thing. And that's also something I had to learn. I can't fix everything, and I can't do the job for everyone. So that's also my takeaway. And also, actually, I think my takeaway is also it was quite freeing to realize that you're actually replaceable. For me, that really helped because you're also emotionally involved and you always try to make it work and you love the attention. And to realize that someone else can do my job and I don't have to do the job was quite relieving. And also, I'm never going to do administration and creative work at once. I have one job that's administration and one job where I can focus on the creative part. But having to do both of them together is no.
Is it schizophrenic? Was it?
Well, I can't do a panel on mental health and then just use schizophrenic like. But it's just the processes don't really work for me. I can't do the Excel sheets for the panels. I want to focus on either side. So I really learned to say no and not to explain. Always, you don't have to apologize for learning stuff about yourself. Do you want to start?
Not really, but okay.
Does anyone want to start? Just something, if there's stuff we didn't cover you want to mention, or if you want to say thank you and I'm hungry.
Last thoughts.
I just want to maybe say that I'm really grateful for all the projectionists because they are kind of like hidden treasures of the industry, because they are screening the films to the audience, and I think that it's a very tough job, very neglected, and it's important to acknowledge them.
No, it's true. I mean, they're the ones, yeah, because originally at one festival they didn't even have access to our team room. Because no one thought of them as part of the team.
It's very often like that, and it's really like scary in a way.
Yeah, they're very cool projectionists. I mean, the one from Hamburg, he's traveling around and showing films. Sorry,
No, it's just like that because
But that's a nice point, actually. Some sort of an arrogance that still exists between film people. For instance, short film people are less arrogant than feature film people, both critics or makers or watchers or whatever. So there's always this, and also, as you said, the projection. Let's leave it at that. Are also a bit neglected, and all. I don't know. The interns at the festival are a bit neglected. I touched upon that as well. So if we just think about being a bit less arrogant, that's already that could help each of us individually and also for the whole community.
I think that's a perk of being the host of the panel. I can add stuff as I like. Interns are allowed to make mistakes. By the way, no? You're not a full-time festival assistant. You're an intern. You get paid very little, so you can learn. And if your boss forgets about them, you should remind them that you're an intern, and it's their responsibility if you mess up a flight, not yours. I mean, don't be an asshole, but you're an intern.
Yeah, that's I very much would echo that. No, but I don't think festivals should take on interns if they cannot give them proper feedback. Teach them because this is why they're there. They're not there as assistants. Poor interns. I was once one, but I work at that festival still. No, but I talked a lot. But what I take with me about this conversation, and always in our work, we should unionize. But don't be afraid of demand things to your employer. Look over your rights. Also, what is your rights in that country that you're hired? Have I been hired on a project base for 3 years and I'm not steadily employed? Then maybe contact the union, because then you have a case. Look up your rights. It's also very boring, but it's very rewarding.
I think after this panel, I understand that I want to say thank you to my colleagues because. You speak and I think about my work and my festival, and I want to say thank you when I come back. I want to call everybody and say thank you for the work that they do for the festival, because I understand that they work so much and they don't have the money that they have to do. And when you say thank you to someone, I think is a good point to start a relation. No, you put an hand on the shoulder, say thank you, and it's the same when you are on a film set, and you work a lot, and at the end of the day, it's important to say thank you to the people that work with you.
And is there also something you can take away, like specific points we made? Is there something? Do you think about building up a codex or trying to schedule regular meetings at your festival now?
Yeah. We like your festival. We organize after the festival the meeting with the staff, and we speak about what is good, what is not good during the work, and we organize something different when something go wrong, and I think it's a good point to work and to build the future of your work.
I think again because I see work as another relationship in my life. So what I don't know, I have the need to invite, even if it's not maybe politically correct or it will definitely not be approved by my partner. But anyway, I will do it anyway. It's I think working with yourself. It's a way of improving your relationships around you. So yeah, that would be an invitation for me to anybody listening to this panel. Somehow this is important because this is another relationship at the end you have to do with other people, even if they are filmmakers or colleagues or bosses or whatever.
Any more people you want to thank?
Oh no. But like you did, and you, the audience.
Yeah. And thank you, Lotta, to that host this panel. Yeah,
Thank you. I was actually suggested by a friend of mine who also worked in the industry, and she said, well, I can't do it, but ask Lotte, and this is why we should work together to make use of our resources. And there's so much more things we could have talked about, and I really encourage other festivals to, if we agree to release it, to watch the video and not start at zero again, because we want to learn and we want to evolve and we want to continue this conversation. So maybe another festival with industry events could focus on one of those topics, maybe interns, maybe money, maybe alcoholism, maybe in 2 years. And so we can actually create something together that would really be great. Thank you so much. I'm really hungry. And of course, I said in the beginning, but thank you, Loma and Diana, for inviting us and for doing this panel. These panels.